All right, earlier in the year we started this shed build, and we poured the sono tubes for the foundation and laid this thing out, and then it sat there for a couple months while Marshall was busy working on other projects. And then he came down about 2-3 weeks ago, and we proceeded to build from the floor up, and it just had the joists on there, so we put the decking down and then built the walls and did all this stuff. And just before that, we had come down here and he'd poured all this concrete down here. I'm on a hill. There's a lot of drop in my backyard. It's like about 26 feet and 160 feet drop. So it's got a pretty good angle coming down it. And if it's wet, and you're not on concrete or, gravel, then you're not getting out of it. And of course it will rut up and stuff. So anyway, I've got to put a little dirt in here on the sides of this so I don't tear my tires up. But anyway, we'll get that done here before too long. But anyway, added these runners for the trailer and came down to this point. And I'm going to do a little bit of changing right here on this end so that I can get this just a little bit more leveled out. Probably pour just a little bit more of a pad down on the corner right here, make it just a little bit wider, and then bring up the other end. And of course got my pad out there a little bit, but basically this door will swing down and load up onto the deck here, so I can go in and out. So that is a major saver of time. As you can see, it's going nothing but up there. And while I was here, while he was working, I was trimming tree limbs, and did quite a bit of tree trimming to get the branches up off of out of the area and away from the shed. So we did that. Real pleased with the shed build. Everything came out nice and neat and clean, straight, and just a beautiful job. Marshall did, I'd say 90% of the work on this. I mean, as far as the physical labor, I'm 65. I'm still able to do some stuff, but he could just work me by a bunch just because being younger. He reminds me of myself when I was younger. I've had bosses tell me that I do the work of 5 guys, and he does the work of 6. So I'm just really, really pleased on that. Like I said, the shed came out really nice. Just walking around it. The sono tubes, I poured an extra row of fillers on this one to come out and give it a little more footer than the other shed. It's just 2 feet longer than the other one. This is 12 by 18 and the other one is 12 by 16. So we added the other sono tube. Do need to just clean up the Tyvek that's wrapped around the building. Put the overhang on it, and he did all that. We put the vents on it, framed them all in, and just a real nice, neat job. All the plywood, everything come up just straight on. Corners lined up perfectly, and rafters and everything lined up really good. So I was just really pleased with that. I did build the ramp. Of course, it's a little low on that side just because I didn't want it to step up it. There's some transition between it, and I could dig it in on this end and go in, but right now it doesn't really bother me. We did come back and put a little piece of metal on these 1x6s. Those are door keepers, so when you open the door up, it goes into place like that. And the ramp's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2 of 6s going down through it, so it's really solid. And this, of course, is 2 of 6, so it should last. Ended up putting the deadbolts in there. I did make a mistake putting this deadbolt there. I should have put it over here on this edge here, so I wouldn't have to get in there and mess with the piece of siding. Of course, I could always cut another piece and drop one in, but anyway, I wasn't thinking ahead on that. And then, of course, these little guys here, just little wire devices, so that when the gates open, I can open it from right here instead of having to get up off on the ground there and come around there, and then I just sit there and pull it, and it will open up, and that kind of thing. So really pleased with the way the roof and everything came out, nice and neat, no electricity down here. This is just storage. And so it's came out good there. I've got, well, I'm just real pleased with it. So anyway, let's open it up, see what we got inside. All right, again, what's really nice about these doors is while I'm up on the deck, I can reach over here and go to hold that thing and give it a pull, and then it locks. And to lock it, the door open, is it locks it so it's not swinging shut on you. These are overlaid, so they overlay the door in good shape. And also put deadbolts right in here for the lineup of the doors. And I also got have the poles. I do need to add a eye bolt over here just to keep that handle out of the way so when I shut it. Anyway, here's the inside the shed. We got storage, which is nice. Had stuff stored over here from the shed, some old furniture, some tables, and some things that from our parents' house, and some old things that we had made. And so, you know, some old sawhorses, some corner cabinets, and I could stack that a lot higher, a lot better if I wanted a little bit more room. But right now, it's actually pretty good. I'm keeping my camping gear in here so I can transition from the trailer to here. And this is a pretty good dream for me to have this like this, because I can just easily come in here and FCF going, modern day camping going, kayaks and stuff are in here. We're about at the end of the season, so I've got 3-4 kayaks in the trailer, and I'll need to get them out of there and put them back up in the attic. But with the length of the shed, you know, it wouldn't be too much to easily store them in here as well. But anyway, everything came out nice and neat and straight. I put 2x4s where they needed to be put. I built it the way that it needed to be built. The sheeting on the outside is heavy. You know, it's more than bare minimum. The joists a lot of times are on 2 foots. These are all 16s, and they're 2x6s, and the rafters are all on 16s, and they're 2x6s. So it came out really strong, and real pleased with it. Of course, we got the joist hangers that are tying it all together, and you know, there's always something else you can add to it, but you know, that for the biggest part, it came out really, really nice. The gables are all framed in nice, and they have the vents up in there to keep it at it. And so, you know, if somebody wanted to, they could come up here and insulate this building and have a nice workshop down in here. But yeah, so there we go. I'm thinking probably money wise, as far as framing and the material wise, I think we got about $5,900 in material. And then of course we had paid labor to have this built. So Marshall, in between his jobs, we were paying him by the hour to get this done, and it was very much a bargain for us. So we were really pleased to get this kind of work done. And as Marshall develops his business, there'll be benefits that'll pay off for him for a long ways. So anyway, that's the storage shed, and doing good. We put treated lumber on the parts that go out. We also spent a little more time trimming it out, putting the pieces over it, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I might end up doing this, just putting a little piece of, doing a little white paint right here, but I doubt it. I ain't mess with it. It won't get much exposure to the sun or rain or anything as far as that goes, because it's got layers of covering on it. But then I went over the doors with these right here, inside and out, and covered that up. We had some of the nails coming through on the back side, so that made them good and solid and that kind of thing. So again, come time to open these up, I just give that a tug, and it opens up. Run the deadbolt, and there we go. This old shed, I built it shortly after we moved in the house, and it's got that hardboard siding on it. It's kind of a paper board, and it's of course buckled, and the seams have popped on it. Studs are 24 inches, and the other shed I had taken this thing here and then overlaid it 1 inch below, so it tied into the whole plate, whereas this one only went down into the top plate maybe not very long. So therefore I had a little issues with water and rain coming in. And so anyway, we're going to be siding over this, but first we're going to take the rafters and put a 1 foot overhang all around the rafter, and just build a roof over that, extend the overhang out. So we'll get that done, and then we'll deck it and shingle it. Shingles are 24, 25 years old, so, and I put them on there, they're not right, but so we'll get that done. And then we'll come around here and we'll put some vinyl, so it'll look very similar to the other shed, but of course this one's 16 feet. And then this is typical CCA wood. You put it out there, and I had a bunch of screws in the back side of it, and it pulled all them out and warped up, and it was tied down to that one there, which was, you know, angled off the others, but man, it didn't make any difference. It just pulled right up, and it comes up and down as the sun comes up. So with a 1 foot overhang, that'll help cover up, you know, that door and keep the water off of it, because it will rot. You can see where I put fence pickets around the edges because of the rotting in the ply in the stuff. So we'll be wrapping the house wrap around it, and then going in here and cleaning all that up. So have to take off all that trim and go to town on it. So that's one of the projects we're doing. So anyway, but this deal here is not near the quality of that shed down there. So real pleased with that job, and this will be better, but it will never be as good as that job down there.